So you should eat Sattvic food.
So what are
Shuddha
Sattvic
Sattvic food.
So what are Sattvic food?
I mean, I would say plant-based food.
Okay.
Simple. Let us keep it simple. Silence is the language of divine. If you really want to connect to your own self, or if you really want to connect to the higher self, or if you really want to connect to God.
So how to really practice your free will? One, and second is manifestation.
See, there are three kinds of people. The first type of people, they will ask, I want this, I want that.
Okay.
The second category of the people are little evolved. They say, God has created me, so God knows what I want. Why should I ask? Then there is a third category of people which says, God has already given me everything I want.
I know.
So they don't ask anything for themselves, and they don't also expect God will give them.
Yeah.
They feel, I already have everything.
Exactly. What happens when you suppress your sexuality?
You become obsessed. Then the extreme of obsession is pervertedness.
That guilt is the
Guilt is the poison to the soul.
Why do you say that?
Because it really destroys you.
Tell us more about it.
Simple. It destroys you.
Yeah.
The feeling of guilt really brings you down. It shrinks you. You cannot be yourself. You cannot be in your strength. You cannot be vibrant.
True.
So that's why I say guilt is the poison to the soul.
Yeah, I'm just talking about the practical way of how most of us lead our life. How it would be so difficult to one day completely disconnect and isolate. So, and in the beginning, it's going to be not easy. So, is it okay to read books? Is it okay to write?
Journaling helps. See, that's why we have these ashrams built. So where you go into the ashram and get trained in this silence meditation for 1 or 2 days, or at least go for a minimum of 3 days of silence in any ashram, because the nature helps you to go deep into silence. And once you have the taste of it, you can practice it at your home. Even without going to ashram, you can practice mauna by yourself when you have willpower. So where there is a will, there is a way. It's very simple. You need to let your loved ones know in advance that your phone will be switched off for 1 day, and if there is any emergency, they can always contact any other family members if it is a real emergency that you are not available for general communication. So you can inform your loved ones and make necessary preparation. And on the day of silence, it really helps if you are eating only fruits, salads and juices, no cooked food. So that also helps you to go deep within. Absolutely no. Herbal tea is okay.
Herbal tea is okay.
Herbal tea is okay. So no tea, coffee, no caffeine, no cooked food. You can eat plenty of fruits, juices. So this diet helps you to go deep into meditation. If you eat rajasic food, then your mind is agitated. Your mind is very active. So you should eat Sattvic food.
So what are
Sattvic food?
So what are Sattvic food?
I mean, I would say plant-based food.
Okay.
Simple. Let us keep it simple. Plant-based fruits, salads on the day of silence. That will help. And silence is the language of divine. If you really want to connect to your own self, or if you really want to connect to the higher self, or if you really want to connect to God, silence is the only way. It is only in deep silence you will have certain realizations. It is only in deep silence you will have a certain awakening.
Yeah.
It is only in deep silence you will have a certain communion with God.
I've heard somewhere it said that Steve Jobs, he had a silence room in his organization, and he said, when I'm inside the room, even if there is a turmoil, don't knock on my door. I will come out when I want to come out. That means that silence also helps creativity.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, it doesn't help. Silence is the main source. When your mind is agitated, you cannot be creative. But when you are deep in silence, then your real creativity blossoms.
So
that's why people sometimes say, leave me alone.
Yeah.
I want to be in my own space, leave me alone.
Yeah. And in today's world where we are looking at technology, where creativity and innovation, what I hear you say is more about that if you spend more time in silence, you'll get more creative. You'll be able to get... So creative is not really making an instrument or any machine, but it is also creative ideas, maybe out-of-box solutions that one gets also happens in silence.
Yeah.
I'm also wondering that how this course is different than Vipassana, because Vipassana is also for 10 days.
Vipassana, initially I used to do it for 15 days.
Okay.
But then I reduced it to 10 days because many people cannot take their leaves. So 10 days is okay. They can manage. Vipassana is almost similar. The only thing is in Vipassana centers there is no pyramids, but here we use pyramid energy, Merkaba energy, crystal energy, and also there's absolutely no silence, no body communication. So in Vipassana, I'm assuming that if you have any doubt, you can ask the master. But here we prepare. The first day we prepare everything. So the first 2 days goes into deep preparation, and after the third day, it's very intense. Okay, you have to face all your fears. You cannot go to your teacher and ask, "Oh, can I have this doubt? Can I?" No, whatever it is, go within. I would say it is almost similar to Vipassana. The only thing, the missing factor in Vipassana would be the pyramid energy, the Merkaba energy,
and
the
also
crystal
the
energy.
crystal.
The crystal energy,
Yeah.
yes.
How do you use the crystal?
Well, I place it.
And I also wanted to know this. I'm very curious. You said that you use the crystal where people who really have this desire, the deepest desire for self-realization, and or maybe getting some answers towards how they are and to who am I. How do you use that crystal, and how many people have really gotten some answers out of it?
I would invite you to experience yourself.
I know you asked me, but unfortunately I was not there. Still some experience.
Consistently, many people, the common experience they share is in the crystal meditation. They really go deep into meditation. Their mind becomes empty very quickly. Compared to the normal meditation, the crystal meditation, the mind becomes empty very quickly, number one. And they go into a timeless zone very quickly in the crystal meditation, number two. Another common experience is they see the crystals actually communicate. The crystals are the tools which helps you to communicate with your higher self.
Yeah.
So many people, they do share this, in the crystal meditation, I got my answer. Now I know what decisions to take in my life. So the intuition becomes sharp. See, you are a crystal inside. We are all a crystal. In our purest form, we are pure, transparent, multidimensional. So we are crystals inside. So the external crystal is just a trigger. The external crystal triggers your own purity, your own knowing. And coming back to the Vipassana, in Vipassana, I think there is a food, we will give it normal food, but in this retreats, there's only juices.
Okay, all 10 days.
All 10 days, only juices. So that detoxes your body as well. And when you're taking only liquid foods, number one, your body detoxes naturally. And number two, you go deep into meditation. Right? Many people go through a lot of physical healing in the 10 days because of the detox diet. So the diet is different and the schedule is different. And there's also fire meditation. Like, you gaze into the fire, you let the fire energy transform you. So there is fire meditation and there is water. We use the water as an element. We use water meditation. So crystal meditation means you meditate in the presence of a crystal. Fire meditation means you gaze into the fire and let go of all your traumas and, you see it as a transformational process. And of course, we recommend to take shower at least 3 times a day because there's a lot of emotional healing. So taking frequent showers during that 10 days time, at least 3 times a day, helps you to emotionally cleanse yourself. Okay, so these are the aspects which is different from Vipassana.
Yeah, sure. And it also makes me ask you this, that when anybody is going through a emotional, overwhelming, maybe we'll talk more about this grief, then would you also then recommend that you must take shower, you must take bath?
Yes.
Because then you feel
long shower, at least 15 to 20 minutes of long shower immediately helps you to get into an emotional balance.
Okay. Anything else that helps in regular course of life?
Because the most effective tool, the wonderful tool, is meditation. And number 2, spending more time in nature.
Mm.
And number 3, reading spiritual books, right spiritual books, like books like Living with the Himalayan Masters, Autobiography Yogi, reading the autobiographies of enlightened masters, what journey they have taken. And yes, Bhagavad Gita, Bible, Quran, all the books of great masters. So when you read spiritual books, that helps you to come out of your suffering, because suffering is primarily because you see the things from the mind perspective. When you see the things from the mind perspective, there is suffering. When you see the things from the soul perspective, it is a learning opportunity.
Could you give an example?
Very simple. When your loved ones vacated the body, right? There is a grief. For a few minutes, you feel like the person is no more with you. So 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes of pain is okay, acceptable. But if a person is in grief for 1 week, 10 days, 20 days, 1 month, then that is not right. It's going to destroy their health. So from the mind perspective, the person is not there with them physically. But if you see that from the soul perspective, everybody has to leave one day. Earth is not the permanent home. We all have to leave. So from the soul perspective, this is only a temporary separation. From the mind perspective, death is a permanent separation. But from the soul perspective, it is just a temporary separation. And we're all going to meet on the other side. And we will take one more birth. And the journey continues. The most beautiful relationships are eternal relationships.
Like, this is okay to hear when things are okay. But when you see your loved one not there, because you have spent so many years with them, be it any relationship, how can it help someone to come out of grief? Because grief is so ingrained at times. So what is that?
So
that
that's
person
why I
has to
said
go?
meditation is the only way.
But in meditation, for example.
See, time is a healer.
Yeah.
Time heals.
Yeah.
But you want to quickly heal yourself. You want to come out of the deep pain and sorrow and suffering. Meditation is a wonderful tool. Unless you meditate, see in Osho's words, unless you meditate, you don't know what you're really missing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So if you are really sincere, any person, if they are really sincere about their life, if they want to live a happy life, meditation, I would say, is the only way.
I have a question which has, I've had somebody ask me this question, that when there is emotional trauma, or it can be grief, because we are talking about that, the thoughts are continuously about that person. So when you meditate, you will always have those thoughts continuously coming to you.
No, when you meditate, you don't get any thoughts, because when you meditate, you focus on your breath, and breath is happening in the present moment. Let me explain you about the science of meditation.
Okay.
So when your awareness is fully on the breath, the mind naturally becomes empty, rather empty. Initially, it is like 100 thoughts per minute. So slowly it reduces to 80 thoughts per minute, 60 thoughts per minute, 40, 50, 30, 20. Finally, it becomes 0. It takes practice. Okay. Mind needs a point to hold on to. Right? Mind needs a reference point to hold on to. Breath is formless, shapeless, and breath is moving. It is not stagnant. So when you observe your breath, when you put your mind's focus, initially use a little bit of mind when you're observing the breath, but slowly the mind becomes rather empty. So when you are totally with the breath, witnessing the breath, observing the breath, following the breath, because breath is flowing and it doesn't have a form, it doesn't have a shape, and it is happening in the present moment. So when you focus totally on the breath, mind naturally becomes empty, because mind exists only in the past or in the future. When you're totally in the present moment, then you don't have thoughts, because thoughts can happen. Imagine your thoughts are either always in the past or in the future.
Yes.
In the present moment, you are alive.
Right.
There is no thoughts.
Right.
So meditation is the only way for you to come out of all your thoughts of your past and all your worries of the future and live in the present moment. And breath is the way, because breath is the only thing which goes beyond mind.
This is becoming very interesting for me, because how to be in the present, how to be in the now, that is, I wouldn't say it is difficult, but it is difficult for a beginner to be in the now where the mind is so glued to the challenges, the problems of life. Yeah. Somebody's not getting a job. Yeah. There is unemployment. You have to run the family. All the time, the thoughts are only about that. I'm coming back to the thoughts because really it would help anybody, even to know that how to come in the present while you know. See, at the mind level, we know that the mind is in the past and the future, but it's so difficult to come to the present, is my first question. And how to witness, because you've been using this word, and how to be an observer. So, these two.
See, I'll take one by one.
Sure.
Let's go with the second question first.
Okay.
Witnessing is the quality of your soul. Witnessing doesn't happen from the mind space. Witnessing happens from the soul space.
Okay.
Concentration, focus, you use your mind. Witnessing, simply, it is like you are watching a sunrise. The sun is just rising up and you're just witnessing. Or witnessing a child play. The child is happily playing, you're just witnessing. So witnessing happens from your soul space.
Okay.
So when I say witness your breath, what I mean is sit back, relax, nothing to do, nowhere to go. And the breath is already happening, you are not breathing. The breath is an automatic breath. From the first breath till the last breath, it's automatic. When you are born, you inhale the first breath. When it's time to vacate the body, you exhale the last breath. So from the first breath to the last breath, every single breath is an automatic breath, which happens on its own, in its own rhythm. So whatever is the rhythm of your natural breath, you just need to witness it. I would rather use the word a passive witness.
Okay.
A passive witness, you sit back, relax, and completely let go. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. So when you don't do anything, the only thing which is happening is breathing. You are breathing and you just witness it from a passive space. Not an active, but passive. So that witnessing happens from the soul space. And in that moment, there are no thoughts. There is only witnessing. Where there is witnessing, there is no thoughts. You want to try it now? Yes,
Sure.
I'll guide you.
Sure.
Yeah, how to do meditation is you clasp your hands, fingers into fingers, and you cross your feet like this. Okay? So I'll just guide you for 1 minute, just 1 minute. Okay?
So I'll close my eyes.
Yeah, gently close your eyes. Sit back. You don't need to keep your back straight. Most important is you sit comfortable. Relax your shoulders. Relax your eyebrows. Relax your entire body from the top of your head till the tip of your toes. Completely relax. Don't worry about the future and don't worry about your past. Be totally in the present moment. Let your 100% focus be on your natural breath. How the breath is touching the tip of your nose, how it is going in, and how it is coming out. Just be a witness. Don't manipulate your breath. Let the breath be as natural as possible, as simple as possible, as gentle as possible. Most important thing is the breath should be your natural breath. This is the last breath you are going to breathe. How aware you will be. Bring that awareness into every single breath. Be totally focused. Your 100% awareness on how the breath is going in and how the breath is coming out. The moment you notice any thoughts, don't give an ounce of an energy or a fraction of a second to your thought. immediately bring your attention to your breath. Don't fight with your thoughts. Don't be concerned about your thoughts. Immediately come back to your breath. The moment you notice any thought, positive thought, negative thought, miraculous thought, any thought, immediately come back to your breath. Again and again, come back to your breath. 20 seconds. Only be with your breath. Gently place your hands on your eyes for 10 seconds, 5 to 10 seconds. Your fingers should be touching your eyes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. You may slowly open your eyes. How do you feel now? Do you feel fresh?
Yeah.
You feel fresh because of energy.
Mm-hmm.
So when you meditate, you get a lot of cosmic energy.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually meditated almost like 50 seconds.
Mm-hmm. I feel very rejuvenated.
Just 1 minute of closing the eyes and observing the breath, you feel so much energy. You feel freshness. And imagine you are meditating for 30 minutes, 60 minutes. So the formula is, the more you have energy, cosmic energy, what we call it as prana, the more we have energy, the more you have clarity in life, about your life. The more you have clarity, the more you will have perfect priority in your life. Most of the people suffer because they don't have priorities in their life.
True.
So your priorities will come into perfect order. So when you have clarity and priority, then you celebrate your life. You become a celebrity.
Yes.
With the energy comes clarity, with the clarity comes priority, with the priority comes celebrity. You become a celebrity. Life becomes a celebration. So it begins with your breath. So the tagline is, take care of your breath. Your life is taken care.
Why is it said life is a drama?
Because it is so.
Tell me more.
We struck and fume, do our part and depart. Whatever you see on the planet Earth, it's a maya, it's an illusion. Nothing is permanent. Nothing is permanent. Your body is not permanent. Your possessions, your name, your fame, nothing is permanent here. So that which is permanent is the truth. That which is eternal is the truth. You are the truth. Your body is maya. Your surroundings are maya. Everything, whatever you see in this physical world is a maya. When you know that it is a maya, you will perfectly enjoy the maya. When you don't know it is a maya, you will suffer in the maya.
You spoke about truth. So what is truth? And what is maya, illusion? What is maya?
See, the very definition of truth is that which is eternal is the truth. That which is eternal, that which is forever, that is the truth. That which changes over time or situation, that is illusion.
Okay.
In other words, maya. So, on the planet Earth, everything goes through a change. So the only thing which doesn't change is you, your soul, your atma, yourself. This you will come to know only in your meditation.
Okay.
Because in your meditation, you will open your third eye. We all have third eye, right? But the third eye is not activated. But once you meditate, more and more you do meditation, more and more the cosmic energy floods your etheric body or the energy body. So the more you have the etheric body more you have the energy in the etheric body, then naturally the body goes through a healing process. People have illness or disease because of the lack of energy.
Okay.
So the more and more you meditate, the more and more prana shakti or vishwa shakti or cosmic energy floods your body, and your nadi mandala, in other words etheric body, gets cleansed.
Okay.
So once your nadi mandala gets cleansed, naturally your third eye gets activated. And in the beginning the third eye gets activated, you will see some colors, you will see some flashes, you will see some pictures which are very vague. But more and more you do meditation, the more you have abundant cosmic energy, then your third eye perfect activation happens. So that's when you'll be able to understand a lot of things about you. You'll be able to see your past lives. Very naturally in your meditation, you'll be able to see your past lives. You will be able to see the cause and effect, why you are going through certain challenges in your life, what are the lessons to be learned, and why these challenges have come in your life in the first place. So you will see the cause in the past life and you will see the effect in the present life. So when you understand this cause and effect, and you will see that it is you who is going through these lifetimes, only the body changes. The situation changes, the family changes. But you as an energy, you as an entity remain the same in every lifetime. So when you have this experience, third eye perfection, third eye awakening, you naturally will realize that you are an eternal soul.
And sometimes there can be, getting delusioned. So how do you know that this is your delusion and this is the truth?
How do you know you are in love? This is what I tell the people. How do you know you are in love? You know it. And if somebody says, how you know that you are real love or a fake love?
I get it. But I really
If
want
it is
to.
real love, you deeply feel it in your heart. Your whole being resonates with it. Fake love is attraction. Superficially, you are attracted to certain things.
Right.
Real love is you feel deep down in your being. So if it is a real experience, then you can feel deep in your being, and if it is a real experience, there is the ripple effect is in your normal life. In your normal life, you are no more the same. You are a transformed person. You are a better version of yourself. Right? People say, hey, you are no more the same person. You are no more angry. You are calm. Right? You are
taking
you
appropriate decisions also.
You are glowing.
Yeah, glowing. Yeah.
Right? You are not worried. You are glowing. So there are some real transformation in your day-to-day life. That means something shifted in you.
Yeah.
If it is illusional, then you see yourself, you are a king in your past life and you are this, you are queen and blah, blah, blah. You will see many things, but your character doesn't change. But if it's a real experience, something shifts inner, it reflects in the outer.
Whenever we say that you get into Mauna or do self-reflection or go within, that means the person has to become introvert, or automatically one becomes introvert, because there is so much external everywhere. The moment you look up, everything is like full of colors, and I call it as desires. But when you really go within, inside, then you go introvert. So is it necessary to become introvert, or it's the journey that you automatically become introvert?
I don't know, I don't like to use the word introvert, but I would rather say going within. See, eyes are the doorways to the external world. As long as your eyes are open, you are in the external world. And the so-called external world, the physical life, is just a tip of an iceberg. There is a huge mountain within you which you are not seeing. So when you close your eyes, when you observe the breath, your inner journey begins. I would rather say it's an inner journey. In your outer journey, what you do? In your outer journey, you take care of yourself, you wear good clothes, and then you drive the car, you go to office, and you take care of your children, you take care of your family, you go to bank, financial transactions, socialization. These are all external things. But your inner journey is totally about you. 100% about you. I'll give an example. If you want to know about me, what is the best way to know about me? You spend time with me, you become a friend of me, then you will know more about me. Yes, it is the case with anybody. The more you spend time with somebody, the more you will understand that person. So the more you spend time with yourself,
exactly,
the more you will understand yourself. So how do you spend time with yourself? Is to be with yourself, to be with your breath. So I would say it is a friendship with your own self.
Beautiful. And that makes me wonder why it is difficult for anyone to accept themselves the way they are. What stops them? This self-acceptance. And then the next one is self-love, that we don't love ourselves. What could be the reason that this happens?
There can be many reasons. It can be childhood trauma, or it can be the lack of affection in their childhood days. Mostly it is childhood. Sometimes it is past lives. But whatever it is, we cannot go back to the past and change the past.
Yeah.
The reason can be many things. But we are not focused on the reasons, but we are focused on how to come out of it. What is the solution?
Right.
How can I be a better person? How can I be a happy person? So our focus should be on that. So it is in the present moment something can be done about it. So you cannot blame your parents that my parents didn't love me, my parents didn't take care of me. So I felt the void within. So no, your parents are the victim of their own past. Spirituality means taking responsibility, not blaming anybody, not blaming any situation. So the moment you take responsibility, you understand that, okay, whatever happens, whatever happened for good. And whatever is happening now is also for good. So the present moment is in my hands. What can I do in the present moment? Yes, I'm feeling some things, like I'm feeling fearful, I'm feeling guilt, I'm feeling jealous, I'm not feeling my strength. I'll constantly compare myself. I have a low self-esteem. I'm not able to achieve what I want to achieve. All my dreams are just dreams, but not a reality.
Yes.
I'm not able to manifest anything. So these are the issues. So now what is the solution? I would say the only solution
is meditate.
The only solution, I repeat, the only solution is go within, because the problem is within.
Yeah.
So the solution is also within.
Yeah.
Money cannot give you happiness.
Right.
Name and fame cannot give you happiness. Even if it gives, it's temporary, superficial. Right? Respect doesn't come from outside. Respect comes from within. Your strength comes from within. Your joy comes from within. So whatever is the external, money, name and fame, your position, nothing can bring you joy. It can bring you comforts. Money can give you comforts, but it cannot give you joy. You can buy a luxurious bed, but you cannot buy a sleep.
Right. Yeah.
So what you have lost is inside. So where you have to look is also inside. It's a simple logic. As you say, an engineer thinks in this way, where is the problem? Go fix the problem there.
True that. However, I still go back, the how to accept yourself.
Do you have a choice?
But I must tell you that there are many out there who really don't know how to accept themselves, who really don't know how to love themselves.
So that is the retreats help. From the mind space, it's all difficulty. But this is where the ashrams have been built. This is where there's a lot of spiritual courses. And take the help. There are many scientific courses like Vipassana. It's quite popular. Vipassana is quite popular. And there are many art of living courses. There are many inner engineering courses. There are many gurus who are trying to help the people to go within. Any enlightened master, their only effort is to help the people to go within. And what the retreats we do is quite advanced. It hits directly. We don't go round and round. We don't take care of your emotions separately, your thoughts separately, your healing separately. It's all in one package. You sit and meditate. The focus is enlightenment. The healing is a byproduct. So the healing is a byproduct. Your emotional balance is a byproduct. Everything are byproducts. But your goal is enlightenment. When I mean enlightenment, I mean to live a happy life, healthy life. My definition of enlightenment is to live a happy and healthy life.
Okay. What is linear enlightenment? You've mentioned about it.
Individual enlightenment. So individual enlightenment is all knowing about yourself, that you are not the body. You are not the mind. You are a pure soul. Okay? So all knowing about yourself and your past lives and your life mission, your life purpose, what is death, what happens after death, all knowing about yourself is individual enlightenment or linear enlightenment. And you realizing you are a multi-dimensional personality. You not only exist on the planet Earth, you simultaneously exist in other dimensions as well. So Earth
this is interesting now. What do you mean by this?
So Earth is not the only place where life happens. There are so many galaxies, so many, there's so many star systems, so many galaxies, and so many life forms in different dimensions. So understanding that life exists in multiple dimensions.
Right,
so you are not only focused on the Earth, you are focused on the cosmic level. That is stellar enlightenment. When I say focus, that means the realization happens. See, in the first stage, the realization happens about you. The advanced stage, the realization happens about your multi-dimensional personality. So you realize that you exist in multiple places simultaneously.
So you exist in multiple dimensions simultaneously.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That means, so for example, there is 100%, your soul is 100%. So 10% or 15% comes to the earth and takes this physical body. Like you have taken a female body. So another 20% might have taken a male body in some other continent. Another 20% has taken a life form in some other dimension, like Pleiadian or Siren. Sirius, Pleiades, Sirius or Lyran, Andromeda galaxy, Nebula galaxy. So there are so many galaxies, so many life forms. So when Jesus Christ said, "In my Father's kingdom there are many, many mansions," he crystal clear, he wrote the word. In my Father's kingdom there are many, many mansions. So he was so highly enlightened. He's an example of stellar enlightenment, where he not only spoke the truth of rightful living, he said, "This is not the only place. In my Father's kingdom there are many, many mansions." So he's speaking about stellar enlightenment. It's a very natural phenomena. You don't need to make any special efforts. You focus on the breath, very naturally you will get enlightened individually, and very naturally you will get enlightened, that is on a stellar level.
Some of your experience?
Some of my experiences of?
Stellar enlightenment.
Oh, well, I don't know if your audience are going to believe this or not, but this is my truth. I had experience of star beings visiting me. I had experience of, my friends from the other dimensions. They came and they gave certain guidance, and they're still guiding me now. And of course, they're not in the body form, they're in the light form. They visit me in the light form. I can feel them, I communicate with them, I speak to them. So we work on a project. It's an intergalactic project. So like we have United Nations here. So what is United Nations? United Nations is nothing but it's an association formed for the welfare and security of all the countries on the planet Earth. So similarly, like we have United Nations, which takes care of all the countries on the planet Earth, we have a galactic federation, which takes care of all the planets and the star systems within the Milky Way galaxy. Earth belongs to the Milky Way galaxy, right? So similarly, you have Federation of Galaxies, which it's a council, which takes care of 22 galaxies. We call it as a local group.
And who is the head of this?
There is no who.
Head.
There is a council.
Okay.
So here on the planet Earth, there is individual, but in the other dimension, it is a council. It's a group of wise people or wise light beings. It's always a council there in the
Do they
higher
have human forms?
If they want, they can take.
Otherwise, they are lights?
They are high frequency beings. So they are in the form of light. So if they want, they can take human form.
And how many councils are there that you are aware of?
Infinite. How many stars are there? Infinite. See from the cosmic point of view. So you are seeing from the body point of view, there are thoughts, there are challenges, there are issues, right? So, for example, take Pune city. The Pune city, if you see in the world map, it's a very tiny little dot.
Sometimes you can't even see the dot.
And there are millions of houses, and your house is one among the millions of houses. So you are very, very, very tiny You are living in a very tiny house, and in your house there are many people. So you are a micro, right? So, and Earth is part of solar system, and Sun is a tiny star. There are billions of stars in the Milky Way galaxy. Similarly, there are millions of galaxies. So this is a galactic viewpoint.
And what is your role there?
I'm a representative in few councils. This I know, but it's nothing to be advertised and feel proud about it.
Yeah, but I'm just curious. And this council, like the UN, we were just taking an example, this council's role is what?
This council's role is the welfare of all the star systems and the planets associated with that council. So right now on the planet Earth, what is happening is Earth is shifting from a third dimension to a fifth dimension.
Means what?
These dimensions are nothing but frequencies. Okay, so third dimension means vibrating in fear consciousness. Fifth dimension means vibrating in the consciousness of love, wellness, oneness, inclusiveness. Third dimension means fear, greed, separation, competition. This is third dimension, fear-based. So fifth dimension is love-based.
And where is the fourth one?
It is in between.
Okay.
It's a transitioning thing. So the higher council has decided to upgrade the Earth from third dimension to the fifth dimension. And these frequencies exist inside you. Like these dimensions, what I'm saying, exist inside you. If you are vibrating in the fear energy, you are in third dimension. If you are vibrating in love energy, compassion energy, then you are in fifth dimension.
Okay, already. If any human being feels that they are operating from love and compassion, they're already in the fifth dimension.
They're already in the fifth dimension.
Okay.
So if majority of the planet Earth are vibrating, now majority of the planet Earth people are vibrating in the fear-based. Sometimes fear-based, sometimes cooperation, sometimes competition. They're going in between. So now the today's reality on the people on the planet Earth, the majority are probably you can say 3.5 dimension. But in the next 10 years time, our real work is next 10 years. So we predict that by 2034, majority of the people in the next 10 years, majority of the people on the planet Earth will be in the love-based vibration. So that means in the heart-based vibration. That means in the fifth dimension. So these councils play a very important role. Like they oversee, right? It is, they govern. They are like super governing bodies. But they don't interfere, but they govern.
Exactly, yeah. So when things are going traumatic, when there are wars, for example, or there COVID happened, in such circumstances they witness it and they let it happen?
Well, from a different point of view, COVID is a blessing. From the galactic point of view, COVID is an opportunity for the humans to shake their consciousness and to evolve. Because during COVID, we all have noticed that many of our loved ones have vacated the body. So when you see that life is just like that, death can come any moment. So don't be focused on property, greed, name, fame. Live your life, because life is precious.
And during that time we realize this.
Yes, the shake in the consciousness happens, right? So from the human space we call it as a tragedy. From the higher space we call it as a consciousness awakening tool. It's an opportunity to awaken the whole consciousness. The whole planet Earth went through a shake in the consciousness.
And this I would agree, because quite a few of them whom I met have really felt a shift in their consciousness. Some of them definitely went through a traumatic time, but quite a few of them in their spiritual journey really gravitated. So while this happened and the wars happened, so what do they do? So this shift that happens is something that it happens automatically, or it is...
It is the people's free will. See, they will not interfere in the people's free will, but they will give all the necessary energetic support.
Tell us more about free will.
On Earth, we humans, we all have free will. Free will is our greatest gift. Nobody can force you to think the way they want. You have a free will to have your own thinking, and your destiny is based on your thinking. You have positive thoughts, you have a positive outcome. You have disastrous thoughts, you have a disastrous outcome. You have a miraculous thought, you have a miraculous outcome. So the destiny of the humanity depends on the thinking of the humanity. So if the thinking changes, the destiny changes. But how does the thinking change? For the thinking to change, you need to first calm down. You need to first empty the mind. So the more you do meditation, the more you're thinking. Suppose you are having a disastrous thoughts. The more you sit for meditation, the more the thoughts become positive, naturally. And the more the thoughts become miraculous, naturally. The more you do meditation, first it becomes positive thoughts, then it becomes miraculous thoughts. And when you have these positive thoughts, you have a positive experience in life.
Right.
Your outer depends on your inner. Right? So if you are having miraculous thoughts, then you have miraculous reality. So it is the thoughts which is your free will. So nobody can force you outside of you. So you have to change from within. Change is possible only when you want to change. Nobody from outer can change you.
Sure.
So this is free will. Like you have a free will to either to live a life of suffering or you to live a life of joy. Both are your choice.
Right.
So life is your choice. How you want to live is your choice.
Yeah. And everything and anything you have a choice. It's
Yes.
about what choice you make, and then you make your destiny, is what you're saying,
Yes.
right? And then going back to this.
So the choices you made in your past life, the effects are in this life.
Yeah.
And what choices you make in this life, the effects are in the next life.
Next life, or even
Or within this life, next few years.
few years. Yeah.
So this is law of karma, law of cause and effect.
Right.
For every effect, there is a cause. And every cause leads to an effect. So for anything you manifest, for anything and everything you manifest, there is a consequence. Right? For anything and everything you do, there are consequences. When you understand the consequences,
Then you will not manifest,
you will not manifest.
is what I think. I would not manifest.
When you understand the consequences, you will not manifest the things you don't want. See, people say, okay, for example,
But Pradeep sir,
I'm going to speak about manifestation.
yes, because this is really very interesting. What I think is not me, but what I think in this moment that I need, maybe now or even after 1 year that I need, but that I really don't know whether it is for my benefit or it's going to take me in a different direction. So how to really practice your free will, one, and second is manifestation.
So there are 3 kinds of people. The entire humanity can be classified into 3 types. The first type of people, they will ask, I want this, I want that.
Okay.
Okay? So they say, okay, I want this in my life. Okay, I want a house. I want job, I want money, I want this, I want a bigger house, I want a bigger car. So that's the first category. So for that, they go to prayer, they do prayers, or they go to mosques or churches or temples according to their own belief systems. But they go saying, I want this. That's the first category. The second category of the people are little evolved. They say, God has created me, so God knows what I want. Why should I ask? God perfectly knows what I want. So whatever I want, God will give me.
Exactly.
So I don't need to ask anything. So that is the second category of the people. Then there is a third category of people which says, God has already given me everything I want.
I know.
God has already given me everything I want.
True.
And what I can do to others, let it happen through me. I allow myself to serve others. So they don't ask anything for themselves, and they don't also expect God will give them. They feel, I already have everything.
Exactly.
What can I do in return? What can I do to make this planet Earth a little more beautiful? So that is the third category people, very highly evolved people, right? So if you are in the first category, of course, yes, you will manifest, I want this, I want that. If you are in the second category, then you won't manifest. You say, what is the need of manifestation? If you are in the third category, still you won't manifest. But sometimes, for loka kalyana, for the welfare of the global good, you would say, yes, let us have this so that I can serve others, not for me, but through me, let everybody prosper.
Okay. This clarity is I've also got some of my answers.
Now, before we go to the next one, you asked about meditation. So you did 1 minute meditation exercise. I think about 1 minute or maybe less than 1 minute. So what is your experience, your honest experience?
So I heard you say it was 50 seconds that I meditated. Yeah.
I didn't exactly measure, but it is less than 1 minute. Yeah.
So for 40 seconds, and why I would say, because in the beginning when I started, I had few thoughts. There were just 2-3 thoughts which were coming in my mind because I just spoke to somebody and that was in my head. But the moment the concentration started going back to the breath, that went off immediately. And there was nothing actually. For those 40 seconds, I had no thoughts. It was completely blank, is what I experienced. And I had one question on that.
Do you normally meditate? Do you have the habit of meditating?
I'm a meditator.
You meditate. So you would meditate with this anapanasati meditation, like breath energy, breath awareness?
Sometimes yes. And sometimes I do, I'm just quiet and automatically I start.
Do you see the difference? When you deliberately make an attempt to witness the breath, you go deep in your self.
Yes, I felt that.
So this is the science of meditation.
Right.
So this is the reason we kept the name as Breath Energy Health Foundation, because it has to reach out to everybody. Every human has breath. So it has to reach out to every human.
One question, and so that we end this piece, the council that you mentioned, I'm very, very curious about that because it's at the cosmic level and I sometimes do experience the mind at that level, and I really want to know that there may be many people that has been chosen by the council, right, on the planet, right? It's not just few of them.
There are
many who are chosen for this, and the ones who are doing their work, in Hindi we say shiddat se, so, and are the ones who are chosen, it is like this, or it is the free will that they choose that I want to serve? How is it?
It's based on your eligibility.
So what is the eligibility?
You should have the will to serve. You should be an enlightened person first, and you should have the will to serve others unconditionally. So that becomes eligibility.
Very interesting. And now coming back to planet Earth. I've heard some of them who go through suffering, whether it is disease or whether it is loss of a loved one, they say, why me? Why did God choose me?
So for every why, there is why not. So when you ask why, you will not get answers. When you ask why not, you will have understanding.
True that.
Every why leads to another why. Every why not settles you.
Yeah, that's a very powerful question. Why not? However, still going back to that suffering question.
It's all karmic.
Okay.
It's all karmic. You have to learn some lessons. And karma is not a punishment. Karma is a learning tool. And you should not see karma from the space of fear. Rather, you should see karma from a space of compassion.
How?
Suppose you are going through a financial challenge. For 10 years, you are going through a financial challenge. So you might ask the question, why I'm going through this?
Yeah. And though I'm working so hard, somebody says.
I'm working so hard, I'm making every effort, and whatever I do, it ends up in a loss.
Yeah.
So why? So the answer is, you have to learn something. So that's the karma. Karma is the consequences of what you have done in your past. So you have to learn something. And when you learn that lesson, then you are no more the same person. Every time you learn a lesson, you are an evolved person. So karma is a learning tool which helps you to grow. So every challenge has an opportunity. If you see from the mind space, challenges are difficult. Why me? But if you see from the soul space, challenges are a great learning lesson for the soul.
And that is why we are born on planet?
That's the very reason we come. There's only 2 reasons why anybody comes to the planet Earth. They say, many people ask, sir, what is my purpose of life? For anybody, the purpose of life is only 2. Number 1, to make yourself a little more beautiful. when you learn more and more lessons, you become more and more beautiful.
Yeah.
So number one, to make yourself a little more beautiful. Number two, to make the planet Earth a little more beautiful. That means to serve others. This is the only purpose. That's why all the enlightened masters, they emphasize on only two things. One, dhyana, which is meditation. Number two, seva, service. When you serve others, you are taking care of the planet Earth. You are making the planet Earth a little more beautiful.
True.
When you meditate, you make yourself a little more beautiful. When you serve, you are making the planet Earth a little more beautiful. This is the purpose of life for anybody. And when you meditate, you are overflowing with joy. When you do seva, you are overflowing with bliss.
Yeah. Yeah. And then
it's a simple.
Yeah.
Truth is simple.
Right.
It's the mind which complicates.
Right. And
no matter whatever the questions you ask, this is the answer.
Yeah. And I was also thinking during the retreat, somebody asked you a question about others not changing, and I remember you say, you change. And when you change, that is also that you are doing a seva to the planet, because your changing also brings in seva.
Yeah. If you want to take care of your family, take care of yourself first.
Yeah.
If you want to really inspire your family to be good people, then you be good first. If you want love, you be loving first. You want a good friend, then you be a good friend first.
True. But this answer is would be, I'm looking for this answer, how to love yourself.
As a matter of fact, you cannot love. You can only accept.
Oh.
When you accept unconditionally, underline the word unconditionally. When you accept yourself unconditionally as you are, when you take care of yourself, when you are kind to yourself, when you are compassionate to yourself, very naturally the self-love blossoms.
Yeah. And self-care, you also...
Self-care is a result of self-love. So when you are kind to yourself, when you are accepting yourself, very naturally self-love blossoms. It's the same with the other person. You cannot love another person. But when you accept another person unconditionally, then love blossoms. There is a possibility love happens. Love is something which happens. You cannot love. You can only accept. But that unconditional acceptance is very important. That when it is conditional acceptance, then it is conditional love. When it is unconditional acceptance, it is unconditional love.
And before I go to the next question about relationship, one thing you mentioned in the retreat is you can only love yourself unconditionally. Others you don't love unconditionally. Why did you say that?
Because whatever the mistakes you do, whatever the mistakes you do, you are ready to let go and move forward.
Right.
And see, when it comes to others, everything is conditional. If you think from a scientific space, somebody is nice to you, you are nice to them in return, right? Sometimes people say mother's love is unconditional love. No, it's not. Mother's love is also conditional love.
True.
If the children go rebellious against the mother, then the mother's love is not unconditional. Right? Everything is conditional. Somebody is nice to you, you are nice to them. Somebody wants your friendship, okay, you are ready to offer your friendship. Somebody hurts you, then you don't want to love them. You want to move away from them.
Yeah.
So everything is conditional. But with you, because you are what you are. So if you have conditions with your own self, then there is no evolution. Right? So like Moses, he heard the voice. You are that you are. You have come alone to the planet Earth. And you are born for yourself. You are not born for anybody else. You are born to live your own life. You are not born to live others' life.
Really?
That is the truth. You come alone
and
you go back alone.
And what about those sentences or the conditioning that I have done so much for you? And
emotional blackmail.
And in spite of doing everything, this is how you are with me in any relationship.
So that is the conditions. I've done so much to you, so you better do something to me in return.
Again, expectations.
Yeah, expectations, emotional blackmails, and when
So-
you don't take responsibility for your life, this is what you do unconsciously. But when you have taken full responsibility, that your happiness is inside you, your happiness is in your hands, it's not in somebody else's hands, then you have a healthy relationship. The more you accept the nature of life, the more you realize the truth, the more you are happier, and the more you are in balance, the more you are in the best version of yourself. See, it is like the more you take care of yourself, the more you will be able to take care of others. The more you love yourself, the more you'll be able to love others. So when it comes to unconditional love, I said it is reserved only for you, because you are the most precious being. You are the most precious thing for yourself. Yes or no?
Yes.
Even you take a group photo.
You first go
What
and
will
see
be the
how do
first
you
one you will
look.
see? You will not see your son, you will not see your daughter, you will
You
see
will
only
see.
you. Because you are the most precious person for you. So everybody is the most precious person for themselves. So that's why unconditional love is reserved for themselves. Self.
Yeah. And this word selfish also has a positive connotation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we all are actually selfish beings.
The very nature of the soul is selfish. The very nature of the soul is selfish. The soul wants to experience life.
Okay.
So the soul chooses the parents. Okay? The parents wants to experience the motherhood, fatherhood. So they choose the child. And every woman wants to get married for herself, not for the man. And every man wants to get married for himself, not for the girl. So anything and everything you do, primarily it is for you.
That means all the dialogues are actually all dramas.
Perfect dramas. That's why Shakespeare said, the world is a stage. We struct and fume, do our part and depart. It's a perfect stage, and it's a drama. It's a beautiful drama. When you know it is a drama, you enjoy life. When you don't know it is a drama, then you suffer.
Right. And I also just wanted to add to that you play your role because you know your drama. Just play your role and just exit.
Yes.
Peacefully, happily.
Know that it is a drama. Know that it is a drama. Everything is temporary here. When you know that everything is temporary, then everything becomes precious. If it is permanent, there is no value in it.
Right.
But if see every relationship, you know that the next moment, breath might leave. So this is the only moment you can cherish.
So true.
So when you realize that, you will cherish every relationships.
Yeah.
Even though it is a drama, you will cherish it.
Yeah. True.
Because next minute there is no guarantee.
Right. However, I also want to know from you that how can relationship make us a better person?
Because relationships are your mirror reflection. Relationships are your mirror reflection.
For example, if like I've seen always my parents in a very intimate relationship with each other. I'm talking about the conversation, the way they are with each other. But when I see some other people, they do not have, means what?
See, every relationship is there to teach you some lessons. Okay. So you said that your parents are always loving, so they never fought in
They
their
have
life?
lots of fights, but they forgive each other.
Yeah.
And they care for each other.
Yeah.
They don't go back to the past and say, oh, you said this to me or whatever. But they really have, they care. They care for
See,
each
some
other.
relationships are harmonious relationships. Some relationships are challenging relationships. The challenging relationship is the greater the learning opportunities.
I'll tell that to my mother now. No learning opportunities with my father.
See, if everything is goody-goody, if everything is happy, then it's okay. Relationship is good, but there is no lessons.
Yeah.
Okay. So...
sorry, but I must say that they've had their set of fights which I've witnessed it.
Yeah, if you ask your mom or dad personally, then they might
Mama.
share their...
Please. Then?
I'll give a story. I'll tell a story. So, imagine a small child is coming and asking the grandfather, Grandpa, tell me a story. The grandpa starts, okay, once upon a time, there was a king. And the child says, wow, okay. Then he had a kingdom. Okay. Then he had a beautiful wife. He said, okay, next. He was happy. Okay. He lived 100 years. Okay. And he died.
Oh.
It's a boring story.
Very boring. Oh.
And then if you say, once upon a time there was a king, and he had a beautiful kingdom, and he was attacked by the enemy kingdom. And then the child says, okay, what happened?
Then what happened?
Then the queen was abducted. Then, so the king formed a rebel army, and he contacted all his friends, and he formed a huge army, and he went for a reverse revenge attack. He went by ships, he went by horses. And it's like the kid is, okay, what happened? So the story becomes interesting when it is challenging. So from the soul point of view, if it is just everything is okay, you are born, you are happy, everything is happy, and then you die. From the soul point of view, what is the point of coming to earth? More the challenges, greater the lessons. I'm not asking you to seek challenges, but what I'm saying is, whatever the natural challenges you get in life, accept it and learn from it. Because those challenges will become a beautiful story when you go back home.
What could be you have conducted so many workshops here and in different countries all over the world. What is that you think that people have come to you, that what are the learnings in relationship? There can be many, but just asking the top 1 or 2 learnings that you felt that this is the learning in relationship.
See, I've traveled all continents, from Africa to South America to North America to Europe to Asia, Australia, Oceania. I traveled all the continents. And all the workshops and all the retreats I've done, people from different walks of life, whether you are a daily worker, daily wage worker, or you are a millionaire, I've seen the spectrum coming to my classes. The one thing everybody is looking for, whether you are a male, whether you are a female, whether you are rich, whether you are poor, whether you are fair-skinned, whether you are dark-skinned, whether you are yellow, whether you are brown-skinned, doesn't matter. The only thing which everybody is looking for is peace and happiness.
Not love?
Peace and happiness. That's the only thing they are looking for. As I said, love is something which blossoms from within you. So when you are peaceful, when you are happy, that means you are already in self-love.
True.
Okay. And when you're asking specifically about relationships, there are different challenges in different people's life situations. It is all subjective. But the relationships all become beautiful relationships when they take responsibility. When they stop blaming, when they see that these relationships are very important for them to grow. So relationships have many, many challenges. Relationships are not so easy, especially an intimate relationship between a man and a woman. Okay, it's not so easy. Because it's the coming together of 2 different bodies, male body and female body, 2 different hormonal things. There's hormonal upheaval in different times and mood swings and different minds, different bodies, different minds, different backgrounds, coming together and living under the same roof. It's not an easy thing. But that's the most profound thing to happen on the planet Earth. Because there is beautiful learning and amazing experiences, provided you accept that you are responsible for your own suffering. The other person is not. Other person is just a trigger. The other person is just a trigger. But the pain is inside you. The suffering is inside you. Right? When you understand this, then you stop blaming. Once the blame game is stopped, then the relationship becomes beautiful.
While we are talking about relationship, but this was really profound, that the triggers are inside you. It's not what anybody says. I'm just wondering to ask you this question. What happens when you suppress your sexuality?
You become obsessed. Then the extreme of obsession is pervertedness.
And the only way to express what you want to feel is with your loved one, the one that you truly love, because that's sacred, right? you treat your relation and you treat your sexuality sacred. And when that happens, then one would not really suppress it. Then there would be conversations, right?
Sex should be an outcome, or sex should be a natural phenomena which arises out of deep love. It is meant to be that way.
Yeah, true.
But if it is another way, like if it is just based on attraction or superficial attraction or lust, then it is just gymnastics on the bed. There is nothing deep. And when it comes to intimacy, when it comes to sexuality, the most important thing is authenticity. You know, many people ask about extramarital affairs and how to deal with it. So I would say, be truthful to yourself. When you're authentic to yourself, you cannot have extramarital affairs. Or if you still want to have extramarital affairs, be authentic, be honest. Have the guts to tell your partner that I feel like going to somebody else. At least be honest. Right? So it is this authenticity and it is this honesty which is very, very important.
Right.
And you are doing something behind the back. You know, you are not cheating your partner, you are cheating your own self.
True.
When you are honest, then your partner would say, okay, thanks for being honest. Now let us gracefully separate.
Right.
Because my dignity is more important.
Right. Right.
That's one possibility.
Yeah.
The other possibility is, okay, let us be friends. You do what you want to do. I still love you, I still accept you, but it cannot be the same intimate relationship anymore. So we can be friends. So honesty is very, very important. If you're not honest, you know what happens? You get into a guilt trip.
Yeah.
You're doing something behind the back. You will be the person who will suffer the most.
Yeah. And yesterday you mentioned, day for yesterday, that guilt is the
Guilt
poison.
is the poison to the soul.
Why do you say that?
Because it really destroys you.
Tell us more about it.
Simple. It destroys you.
Yeah.
The feeling of guilt really brings you down. It shrinks you. You cannot be yourself. You cannot be in your strength. You cannot be vibrant.
True.
So that's why I say guilt is the poison to the soul. Every time you feel guilty, see why the guilt comes. Guilt comes because you feel you have committed a blunder, you have committed a mistake. And you are self-judging yourself, you are criticizing yourself, you are too harsh on yourself. So that's where the guilt comes. But when you understand that every mistake is a learning opportunity, so you are free to do as many mistakes as possible, as long as you don't repeat the mistakes. So every mistake is a learning opportunity. And every time you do a mistake and you are open to learn from the mistake, you will not feel guilty. Because you will feel proud that because of this mistake, I've learned something.
Yeah.
So there's no place for guilty. When you are learning lessons, there is no place for guilt. But if you are not learning lessons, you are unconscious, you are unaware, you are repeating the same mistakes again and again, then naturally you feel guilty. And every time you feel guilty, you are committing a fresh blunder.
Yeah. While we did speak about partners and we spoke about guilt and extramarital affair, but more is about parents when they feel guilty about working outside and leaving their child home, especially mother. And that guilt also is poison to the soul.
Yeah, you should not feel guilty at any cost. Do your best and leave the rest.
Yeah.
This is what Krishna said.
Yeah.
Do your best and leave the rest. When you do your best, you will never feel guilty. When you don't do your best, then there is a possibility you feel guilty.
I just wanted to add here that so many times, it's also the deep conditioning which comes in that you need to give so much of time to your child, or you need to do this or that. There's so much that kind of traditionally we are taught. But if you really, what you said, just give your best and then say, okay, this is all that I can do, and not feel guilty about it. Because I have seen a lot of women go through, especially mothers go through a lot of guilt because of not giving time to the husband, not giving time to the in-laws or children. So
you don't need to give time to the in-laws.
Yeah.
But you should give time to your children. That is very important. Children are your primary responsibility. So the first priority goes to children. Okay. The second priority goes to the partners and simultaneously to your in-laws. But there is a priority. The first priority is children. So when it comes to the children, you need to give your best. Always you need to give your best. Because you asked for the children and it is your responsibility.
Right. True. Sacred space at home. I heard you say that it's very essential that you have your own sacred space. I have mine. And so, yeah, please tell, why did you say that?
When you make your home your ashram, you have a lot of positivity. So home is a place where you live, where you sleep, you spend considerable amount of time. So when you make your home your ashram, there is a lot of positivity. So there is a saying, cleanliness is next to godliness. What I mean is making your home ashram is just keep the things what you use. Keep the things what you use and give away the things what you don't use. Number one. And clean the house every day. And number three, there should be no meat in the house. There should be no food of killing. There should be no bloody food. There should be only food of love, which is a plant-based food. You can do this as an experiment, right? People have their own choices to eat what they want. But I'm trying to say that it is important to experiment because you're looking for peace in your life. You want peace and you are giving violence. You are violent to living beings and you are killing. You are violent and you are killing and you are eating that bloody food and you are expecting peace in your life. It's not going to happen. So according to law of karma or law of cause and effect, it's very simple. Law of karma has two sides. What you don't want, don't do that to others.
Okay.
What you want, you give it first. So you want peace in your life, you be peaceful first to every living being. You don't want violence in your life, you don't want pain in your life, don't give any pain to any living being. Very simple science, law of karma. What you give comes back to you. So when you understand this, and you can do it as a simple experiment where only for 40 days have this thought that I want to live a peaceful life. I don't want to harm anybody. I don't want to harm any living being. I don't want to kill any living being. I want to be peaceful with everybody. So for 40 days, eat plant-based food.
Okay.
Okay. And 41st day, you eat meat. You will clearly see the difference. The day you eat the meat, the 41st day, you are feeling whacked up. You are feeling agitated. You are feeling a lot of fear inside. Okay. So if you do your own experiment, then you will come to know the truth. Again, I am very clear in this show, in your show, I am very clear. Food is your choice. But if you want to live a peaceful life, if you are seeking peace, if you are seeking happiness in your life, you got to be peaceful first with every living being. You cannot give pain and expect peace in return. It's not in the law, right? It's not going to work. I want you or all your viewers to do their own simple experiment and find the truth for themselves. Because I was a meat eater myself. And once I started meditating, I felt disgusted about myself, right? Nobody asked me to be a vegetarian. It is my inner consciousness, right?
True.
And in my own experience, I used to have a lot of fears before. I used to have a lot of fears. But after I stopped eating meat, fast forward 6 months later, when I turned back and I realized, hey, the fears are all disappeared, or the intensity of the fears have reduced. Before I used to have stage fear. Now I'm speaking in front of the camera. Now I talk all over the world. Right? The fears naturally disappear. I want everybody to do this simple experiment. Stop giving fears. Stop giving pain. Stop giving suffering to the animals, birds and fishes. Be a kind person. Peace and happiness will come to you naturally. Law of karma. You're clear about it?
Yes, completely. And thank you so much for being here with us. And you have given us such deep insights. while having this conversation, I had some of my realizations. Yeah? And I'm sure, my dear audience, that you have also enjoyed this podcast. And this is part one. Pradeep sir will be here again, and we'll do the part two with him. Any message to our audience?
Take care of your breath. Meditation is the only way. I would say meditation is the easiest way, the simplest way, the most effective way to be happy and healthy. Experiment. Don't blindly believe anything.
Okay.
Experiment. With every experiment you do, you will have a certain experience, and that experience enlightens you. That is the message. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.